The ideal Halo Smart Interface bracket is a wall-mounted bracket with 24-volt DC power supply for the external mounting of the Halo Smart Interface. This bracket may be used to retrofit the Halo controls to older boilers. Always isolate the main supply before installing or working on any components relating to the boiler electronics. The Smart Interface bracket can be wired into older Logic and Vogue Combi models, as well as the current models. Refer to the installation guide for full details on wiring into the different models and for a guide to additional wiring components that may be required on older models. You may need to check the serial number prefix of the boiler when referring to the user guide. You'll find this on the data plate. For the various Combi models in the current Logic ranges that have a serial number prefix before AFQ, these boilers will have been manufactured before June 2019. Remove the boiler front panel and remove the blanking plate or any ideal controls that are already installed into the aperture on the front of the control box. If there is a timer link plug present in the aperture, remove this. Open the control box and unclip the timer link socket from the rear of the aperture. Locate the plug on the same harness branch and connect the socket and plug together. Locate the rubber bung, which can be found adjacent to the harness connections, and insert into the open aperture to seal. Locate the wiring terminals within the control box. The 230-volt connections are on the left and low-voltage open-therm connections are on the right. Remove any link wires or existing controls located in the room stat or timer plug. Wire the Smart Interface bracket into the open-therm connections. For older Logic Combi boilers that are the previous model of the Logic sold before 2016, remove the boiler front panel. On the front of the control box, remove any plug-in controls that are already installed in the aperture on the front. Replace the link plug in the connector in the aperture. Swing the control box into the servicing position and locate the wiring terminals within the control box. The 230-volt connections are on the left and low-voltage open-therm connections are on the right. Remove any link wires or existing controls located in the room stat or timer plug. Wire the Smart Interface bracket into the open-therm connections. To site the Smart Interface bracket, position the bracket within 1 meter of a 230-volt AC socket to enable use of the 24-volt DC power supply. The bracket should be mounted horizontally on the wall at least 1 meter from the floor. The bracket can be mounted straight to the wall or onto an existing single-gang wall box. Simply fix the bracket to the wall using 2 screws. The bracket can be wired through rear knockouts or knockouts in the base for surface cable mounting. Wire the low voltage connection into the open-therm master terminals located in the central position. Install the Halo Smart Interface by connecting the plug on the Smart Interface to the connector in the bracket and carefully pushing the Smart Interface into place. Turn on the electric power to the boiler. Insert the 24-volt DC power supply jack into the bracket until a positive click is felt. Plug in the power supply and switch on power. The Smart Interface will go through a startup sequence of flashing LEDs. Once this is completed, only the green power LED will be illuminated. Now refer to the Halo Combi installation guide to continue installation of the Halo controls. Following setup of the Halo, the homeowner will benefit from easy control of their heating with a control that perfectly complements their ideal boiler. For further guidance on installation of the ideal Halo, see the other how-to videos available online.